Peace, family. As you know by now, there was a unprecedented strike in the automotive manufacturing business. The UAW struck against Ford, Chrysler, and General Motors all at the same time. This is the first time this has ever happened. And of course, a lot of the complaints that they're complaining about today is what they've always been complaining about: low wages, long hours, benefits, and the pay disparity between the CEOs and the average workers. Now, at one point in time, the CEOs was making 20 to 30 times what the average worker was making. Today, it is now 300 to 400 times what the average worker is making. Here you have the CEO for General Motors, a female, making $29 million a year. And she's just one of the CEOs there, making $29 million. And the workers have to work 10, 11-hour days just to make a living. I don't see how these workers are sitting up here asking the UAW to negotiate with these people. If at one point they was making 20 to 30 times the average worker's salary, and using the same channels that you use to negotiate your pay disparity, and you see now today is 300 to 400 times the average worker's salary. How do you continue negotiating with these people in the same manner in which you are negotiating with these people? I don't understand that. Why are you have all the talent you need right on that floor where you work at right now, and you're battling against a handful of CEOs that's making $29, $30 million a year. If they can't hear your pleas now, when are they going to be able to? Take your talent out of this manufacturing system and build your own, especially to the black people. Build your own automotive manufacturing company where you can not only create jobs for your people, but you can establish your own economic floor. And then you can pay yourselves a fair, equitable price. You got people right now working for these automotive manufacturing companies that can't even afford to buy the cars they manufacture themselves. And then Joe Biden sitting up here talking about some, repeat after me, nobody wants a strike. Well, then if this country or nobody wants a strike, what are you doing about it? Why don't you stop giving these automotive manufacturing companies tax incentives? Because ain't no sense, how do you pay somebody $29 million and then lower their tax responsibility? They should be able to afford to pay anything. How do you not want to strike, but you allow these automotive manufacturers who employ the people that pay the taxes that pay for the president to institute artificial intelligence and machines to take the place of the workers? The CEO for General Motors sat up there and said that for every job that they create, they support 6 other businesses in the community. Well, if that's the case, then the more people you have working in the factory, it would be more benefit to the community. Why are you going into the business of replacing workers with machines? Machines don't support businesses outside of General Motors. Machines don't go to watch the baseball game. Machines don't buy subscription to YouTube and Paramount and all these other places. Machines don't go on vacation to Disney World. Why are these businesses and why is this president allowing these manufacturing companies to do these things? It's absolutely ridiculous. And then you're sitting up here, you're wanting the UAW to negotiate a 40% pay increase to match what the CEOs are making. And then the CEO from Ford sat up there and said, if we paid the workers at the same rate and pace that we pay ourselves, we'll be out of business in 10 years. Well, if you keep paying the workers the way you're paying them today, Where will they be at in 10 years? If your business structure will go out of business, if you pay your workers at the same rate and pace that you pay your CEOs, if you be bankrupt behind that, how do you ask these workers to work for the same business that's pushing them into poverty? Because what cars cost $70,000, $80,000 today, what are they going to cost 10 years from now? If they can't afford to buy the vehicles they manufacturing today, how are they going to afford to buy them 10 years from now? You see, this country is under the delusion that they need General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler to manufacture cars for this country. And that's 100% wrong. But what this country do need is car manufacturing in this country. It doesn't have to be Ford, Chrysler, and GM. It could be any entity that come in here and do it. And black people, this is our calling card. We have our people working for all three of these automotive institutions. We can pull our talent and pull our resources and build our own automotive manufacturing business and replace this failed economic. Ain't no sense to keep going back to these fools, negotiating with them. You know, they'll give you a 10 or 15% pay increase over the next 4 or 5 years, and then they'll raise the cost of living to adjust to this new increase, to take your money right away. I'm listening to this other report on MSNBC. One of the automotive people was saying that they paid $2 an hour, but then they took away their child care. So now, as long as they made a certain amount, they got child care provided for them. But once they got a $2 increase, they took the child care provision out of their capability, and now they got to pay for it themselves. So you might as well just kept the $2. If that's the case, this system is going to HE hockey sticks in a handbasket. And it is not until it is led by a competitive system that's going to either slow or halt this economic onslaught that's forcing people to be the working poor. This is not how a society is supposed to last. Like I said, the CEO of General Motors said that each job in General Motors supports 6 other businesses around them. But yet you want to build machines and artificial intelligence to take the place of actual workers. Artificial intelligence is going to be the engine to these plants, because if these manufacturers, these CEOs have their wish, they'll replace every worker with artificial intelligence or machines, and people will still buy these cars and trucks and still pay these CEOs $29 million a year with no workers. It's time for black people. We got to stop allowing these people to dictate terms and conditions, and creating at least create an alternative to hold these people at bay. We can no longer sit up here and let these people run roughshod over us with no consideration at all. The only way we're going to be able to do that is by building a competitive system to compete in this system, and at best to replace this system for our own. I'm going to end this message here. And if you like this message, and if you like this content, and if you like this pressure that I put on our oppressor, put a little pressure on that follow, subscribe, and share button, and catch me in my next video. Ashe.